Speaker, maybe he wants to go next week because it's been quite the carousel, and the Leader of the Opposition said she was going to get better week on week. She already has in the last 2 weeks by not turning up. And Mr. Speaker, I'm just wondering when they're going to give the Shadow Justice Secretary a go.
Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm proud and honoured to say that I've served this country as a reservist parachute, which is why I'd like to thank and take this opportunity to thank all our service members and their families during Armed Forces Week. This Labour government has announced the largest sustained increase since the end of the Cold War. Will the Deputy Prime Minister set out how the government will rebuild Britain and secure our defence for the future?
Well, Mr. Speaker, I thank my honourable friend for his question and for his service. He's absolutely right. Our armed forces represent the very best of Britain and put their lives on the line for us every day. It's our responsibility to support those who defend us, and we're delivering the biggest sustained boost to defence spending since the end of the Cold War. The Strategic Defence Review sets out our vision for defence, driving jobs and prosperity and renewing the nation's contract with those who serve to secure Britain into the future.
Oliver Dowden.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and it's a pleasure to be asking the Right Honourable Lady another question at Prime Minister's Questions, although this time just the one. There has been a proliferation of houses of multiple occupation in my constituency in places like Potters Bar and Bournemouth. Quiet residential streets like Tiverton Road and Organ Hall Road are being blighted by houses, quiet family houses, being converted into houses of multiple occupation, leading to a surge in antisocial behaviour and parking problems. May I therefore urge the Deputy Prime Minister to look at enhancing the powers of local councils to stop these kind of developments where they are not wanted.
Deputy Prime Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I do miss our exchanges. I hope he's been wearing his Factor 50. He knows how it can get for us gingers in the hot weather. But he also knows, Mr. Speaker, that local authorities have planning powers to limit the proliferation of small houses into multiple occupation. And his government left a housing crisis. I'm getting on with fixing that with the 1.5 million homes that we're going to deliver.
The member for Clacton put a singular burning injustice first: the plight of overseas billionaires paying too much tax. Does the Deputy Prime Minister agree with his priority, or with me, that the Reform UK doing sweetheart deals with the super rich is a betrayal of British working people?
Well, Mr. Speaker, I was asked about the member for Clacton's mathematics the other week, and my honourable friend is absolutely right. The mask has slipped again this week. The honourable member for Clacton demands billions more in unfunded tax cuts for the very richest, while he marches through the lobbies in the House of Commons to vote against sick pay for the lowest earners. We know who pay for reform tax breaks, Mr. Speaker, for overseas billionaires, tax hikes on working people and patients being charged to see their doctor. Labour won't let that happen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. When my young constituent Axel was given his EHCP a year ago, his primary school place was withdrawn and no replacement offered. His nursery allowed him to stay on until Christmas, but since then, apart from a short break at a school, he's had nothing. He's at home with his mum, no alternative provision for younger children, and those young children can't travel a long way. His mother also can't go to work. So while I welcome the white paper in the autumn, can the Deputy Prime Minister commit to Axel's mum, but also the parents of Freddie, Ewan, Ethan and the other 640 SEND children with no school to go, there'll be somewhere for them in September?
Deputy Prime Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I'm really sorry to hear about Axel and the other cases that the honourable member mentioned. Those with special educational needs do deserve proper support and shouldn't be left at home. We're determined to fix the SEND system and support children before issues escalate to this type of crisis point. We're investing £3.4 billion this year to deploy specialist teams across early years and primary school settings, helping to identify and respond to speech and language needs, particularly for children with SEND. And we'll set out our full plans, Mr. Speaker, to the reform of SEND this autumn, including support for early years.
Foodie.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Growth needs to be delivered and felt in all parts of the country, and the infrastructure strategy, changes to the Green Book and the £1.8 billion secured for the North East are a clear demonstration of our commitment to that. In my area, Moor Farm Roundabout is blocking growth and is causing misery for people locally. Does the Deputy Prime Minister agree with me that improving infrastructure in the north, like at Moor Farm, will show how we are investing in all parts of the country?
Deputy Prime Minister.
Well, she's absolutely right, Mr Speaker. The previous government didn't have a plan for areas like the North East, and I know she's been a champion regarding the Moor Farm roundabout. And this government is changing the situation by investing £15.6 billion funding for local transport projects across the country, opening up access to jobs and improving living standards, including in the North East.
Neil O'Brien.
Mr Speaker, Labour have invited proposals from cities to expand their boundaries, and the Mayor of Leicester wants to expand the cities to swallow up areas like Oadby, Wigston and Great Glen. But local people don't want this, and thousands of them have signed our petition against it. It's not just the higher council tax, they want to keep their own local identity. So will the Deputy Prime Minister rule out this totally unwelcome city takeover? And if she does want to press ahead with it, will she at least give us a say in a local referendum so that we can tell her again, we don't want this?
Deputy Prime Minister.
Well, Mr Speaker, what they were told at the general election is they don't want you. I mean, all right then, your government. You might have slipped through. But the one thing I will say, Mr Speaker, is that the honourable member said about his own government. There's a lot of things we should have done. There's a lot of things we should do that we didn't do. And to be honest, I couldn't agree more, and we're getting on and doing it.
David Bailey.
In Armed Forces Week, will the Deputy Prime Minister join with me in paying tribute to my former colleagues at RAF Bryce Norton? I know she will share my horror that some on the opposition benches responded to that appalling attack on that base, not by recognising the consequences of 14 years of Conservative underinvestment in our defence, but by personally smearing one of our brave members of the Royal Air Force. Does she agree with me and my honourable and gallant friend from North East Derbyshire that this Labour government will always support our armed forces, and that those shameful comments of deputy reform bring disgrace upon him and his party?
Well, Mr Speaker, my honourable and gallant friend speaks with great authenticity and authority on this matter, and the attack on the RAF Bryce Norton was disgraceful.